the eclipse is coming. And hope everybody get opportunity to experience the frequency of it. And before they look, they put the glass on them, mess the eyes up. But that energy of it, hope they open their spiritual eye. They can see and be more oneness. You know, it's all over the country, people making that instant where they can see that. Then it's my visualization and aspiration of when people sin become the business with the oneness. It is no separatism, but be your individualized source connected by the universe for one source. I'm on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that help you any better what I'm talking about today, you know?
Certainly. Certainly.
Well, either way, I can say this is Dr. Hannah. We're having some great tea today, this morning. So I'm looking forward to sipping with you and sharing with you based on your receptivity. It's that.
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. It's always an honor to sit and hold some space with you. So we were talking a little bit last time about the one breath and receptivity. And then today, as I started talking to you, I asked you about your vibe, and you said, I'm always dealing with realness. Can you speak to that a little bit?
In the realness, I'm being present to who I am rather than who I hope to be. You have to be beingness, it's realness, beingness. You know, a human being, what are you being? Are you present of what you're being? Are you a robot? Are you going along with the consistency of the what's public, what's the facts? Is it you? Is that someone that you need to be, should I say, someone need to verify, someone need to validate you? Can you validate yourself from your own source? And that source is it inclusive of the universal source? That's important to realize the difference. We got people out here following along. They're just following. They do things because you get validation from some outside force. I want to bring you inside to your divine energy. You decide who you are and what you are, and does it include in a harmonious way anything else and anybody else? That's why I use a thing like the sun. The sun energy is very powerful. It shines on everything, everybody. It's not selective. It didn't say, well, today I'm not going to shine on cosmos. No, it shines. It's a divine energy to give us life force. So we all have the sun in us. How do you use your sun inside of you? How do you do it? Is it selective? It's only a certain people, a certain group? It's a question you got to raise yourself. But when in raising that, answering that question, remember, whatever you do to you. How small, how big you want to be in your space. That's that question.
Thank you. So talking about realness, said you start by bringing yourself inside yourself, yeah?
Yes.
Is that one way to look at it?
Sure. You got to do some introspection. And in this third dimension, we always do things by comparison. The other way, we don't know the difference from that perspective. Night and day, up and down, sweet, salty, hot and cool. We know by comparison. Your question is, what are you comparing yourself to? Someone outside, or are you looking at yourself, your ego self, your divine self? Do you have enough to know the difference? So that's being present to what's going on inside of you. Is you constantly been seduced and hypnotized about always looking out? When do you look in? When do you have the courage to have your own thumbprint? And some people don't have the courage to have the thumbprint. They need outside validation. Outside validation. I'm talking about coming inside, looking at you, your ego self, your divine self. Which one do you vibrate to? Which one do you put more attention to? That's the one I'm talking. So you have to look inside. You have to be your own looking to yourself, you know. Your own looking, you're looking on, somebody looking on you. I'm talking to everybody to be victorious versus being a punk, you know. We got a lot of people out here blaming, you know, they are looking outside. Someone did something. What did you do? So present, being real, is knowing the difference, looking inside of you. Look inside. Claim you, be you. No one can breathe for you. So why are you somebody to think for you?
Mm.
No one can eat for you.
Mm.
You need to eat yourself. So what are you feeding your mind?
Mm.
What are you feeding your mind?
Mm.
We know we eat junk food, need other food. And the results of junk food, you say, oh, it tastes good, but is it good for you in time? You got to answer those questions. So I'm saying realness is about going inside and making the difference as to which one of your minds or bodies are you going to purify or amplify to unify. That's where we are right now.
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. Yeah, you said a lot. I'll start here. For people listening, can you give us a brief explanation? How do you see the ego and the divine self? How would you describe that to people so they can understand it in their own being?
Well, the way I've decided is you got to realize you have a divine consciousness. You got an ego body which is very important to house what I would say your divine body. It's very important. But you must also realize that body is flawed by sensation and selfishness and egoism. You got another one inside of that that's I would say just the opposite of that. The one that's inclusive is the one is I call divine on a universal sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm calling that. You got a conscious mind. Decide which one am I going to be. So that will detect some discernment and detachment.
Mm.
You discern which one did, which one can you detach from. Then you got to have a desire. I would call it the 3 Ds, discernment. Which one can you detach from? And which one do you devote your time and your energy to? Maybe there's an issue here. Most people don't know how to think. They don't know how to discern. But they think there's only one body. That's caused problem. Because that oneness, if you don't understand that there's laws, there's divine laws that transcend those human laws, that say whatever you do to yourself. If you know by acting selfish and vain and violent comes back to you, do you still want to continue that? Because you can go to court, man's court, human court, you can talk how much money you got, depending on the sharpness of your attorney, depending on what color you are, what sex you are, what's your religion, you might be saying, we're gonna give you a pass this time. You can't pass with divine law. You do this, you do the energy, it come back to you. There's no ifness about it. It's an isness. I'm always about the isness because it's real. The sun is real, the moon is real, the water is real. Those are divine things that come up regardless what they are. So there's a part of you that's divine, there's part of your ego. So you got to learn the difference and how you want to go for it. Do they help you anything?
It helps me a lot. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to follow up on that if I may. So there's a lot of traditions, whether it's Buddhism or whatever those kind of beliefs are, where I'm going with it and what I want to get clarification on. Sometimes people denigrate or say, oh, the ego is something to just be burned away. You just said it is also very important. So how do you see the ego? I mean, you're saying, what I'm hearing from you is like you want to balance the divine consciousness with the ego self, because I wouldn't have a body without ego. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I am saying that. Well, let's take a little bit more elementary, I would call it. We have clothes on, it's protecting this. We need clothes. Then we got that physical to protect the physical body. I'm saying the physical body stimulate what lesson we need on this reincarnation. So we have to learn to transcend that. I ain't gonna say burn it out. As long as you're in this body, you got to be in it, but not controlled by it. When you can have the discernment, which knowing the difference, and you detach from that, then you dedicate yourself with a strong desire to move forward into who you are and what you are. Which one? Be your own looker to yourself. You decide to yourself. I'm not putting one down or up. I'm just saying how I'm balancing them out moving forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just remember those 3 Ds, so 4 Ds, you have to be able to do that. Discernment, you detach. You have the burning desire, then you become dedicated to that. So just remember those 4 Ds, brother. It will help you make a decision. Every morning you get up, you have that opportunity. You have your breath, you have your consciousness, your divine. Which one am I going to cultivate today? But most people get like a robot to get up. I got to brush my teeth, do this, go to the bathroom, eat my breakfast, run out like, those are robotic things for this physical body, which is okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're just in that world. But that's why many people get frustrated with that world. I don't care if you take them in a cycle all around and around. Then you talk about the money's fine. No one against any of that. The question is, are you detached to it? And how you going to use it for yourself and the greater good?
Mm.
Make any sense to you? I want to make sure I'm clear.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And if I may, I'm going to follow up on what we talked about last time. So my understanding is you were telling listeners that you use your breath as foundation. That's the thing that connects divine and physical, and we need it to exist.
Yes.
And then you said from the one breath.
Right. Yes. Is
that fair? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said that the foundation of practicing one breath is gratitude and love.
Yes.
Be grateful for your breath. The fact that you're here, that'll already open you up a bit and create more receptivity. Is that one way to look at it?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know I don't want to make this A, B, C, D. I just want to put it together for greater understanding. So based on that conversation, and now today we're talking about the 4 Ds. How do they relate to the one breath, gratitude and love? Is that do you see those as connecting, or am I trying to put something together that doesn't need to today?
No, brother, you're a war. We don't try to do anything.
I know that's right.
We don't try anything, and they all relates, depending on your perspective, how you become conscious. Realizing who woke you up this morning, what force was that? I call it divine force to make your heart just keep ticking to wake up.
Mm.
In that, I'm talking about that's much gratitude. And gratitude you're sending out to all being able to wake up. Do you send gratitude out? Or are you stuck into yourself? It's just about you. And I'm saying there from the next power, one of the powerful forces, I say love. The love energy going in, you inhaling yourself. Now make a conscious choice, discernment. Which one am I feeding today? There's no right or wrong. It's just taking responsibility. When you're a warrior, you always take responsibility. If you're punk, you're blaming. So you take responsibility as to which you're going to cultivate, the divine or the ego mind. Within that, it leads into you need to have a decision to discern the difference. Then detached with awareness, got to be able to do that.
Mm.
Then that'll get you that determination, this discipline, the desire to keep moving in. They all relate to what we talk about today. If everything I'm going to talk about can relate back to oneness, I can separate it. I can always bring it back down to that. So it came back to one source, one breath. You have a conscious mind. We are a conscious being. I will hope people become more conscious. They're not very people still not woke yet. So make it as conscious, step by step. It's okay to be step by step. Sometimes it's okay. But sometimes you can just feel your heart know what the real deal. You can deal then. So we're making it to the point that it can like the frequency stimulate people to become aware. If it take a very linear approach to that, be linear. Some people you don't need to. I can just go right to heart. Some people get it. I can just talk that way. So all approaches as a master teacher is appropriate. No one have a one set way. If it's that step, we do the step. If not, we can sit there and talk briefly or something. We be quiet together. People still get it. Depending on the sensitivity, receptivity, and the purification of the person that's listening. They all got different ways. Some people got to first go through their intellectual system, kind of analyze it. Some people like, does it match my belief? Does it match my feeling? All those things, that's fine. But for one thing, they can't go beyond is your breath. We got to agree on the breath, man.
Mm-hmm.
That to beyond that is the source that feeds this body. And I'm saying there's two things going in your body. Which one you want to feed? I'm not, dividing those things into this intellectual, this emotion, my belief. Truth doesn't have to defend itself. The truth is, you have to defend facts. That's why in this country, so well, you can mess with facts and say, you know what, these are the facts. Facts are changeable. Truth is unchangeable. I deal with stuff that's the divine laws that is beyond us. I vibrate to that frequency. What I'm teaching, what I'm healing, what I'm teaching people how to fight, purify, amplify, you come to a common side of you. Then all that reactive, sitting out vibration, who you are and what you are, it goes to the people of harmonization. So, yes, your question, the form of your question is a way of unifying everything that's based on your question. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Well, you said a lot as always. I'm gonna rotate back to something you said. You detach, you discern, you detach, and then that determination or even desire you mentioned allows you to devote yourself to that consciousness.
Yes.
Can you speak more to desire? Because desire in different circles, I mean, Buddhism, sometimes people interpret it as desires are the root of all suffering.
Yeah.
You're saying that desire is important for us to move forward, yeah?
Hey, listen to the question said. They say it is the root of all suffering, but when you detach from that, you don't have the suffering.
Okay. Can you break down detachment with desire?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, see, the way you can interpret that is, I'm beyond all the sensations. I'm with source. But when you get off into that, you haven't detached from your desire. You are in you're in a lot of pain.
Mm.
But when you realize you're more than this, all the things that this physical represent, then you can look at it from that perspective. But you still identify to some degree with the body, you pull down into that. No, no. You have to transcend. There's another thing that's in the ether. I'm beyond this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in this. It's like being in the world, but not of this body. I'm in my body, but not controlled by my body. Mm-hmm. When you're not controlled by your body, you had the problem with what you just said about the Buddha. But then pain with a progressive person is a way to grow. You don't react to it, you respond to it, you grow beyond it. It's like teaching people, well, let's take martial, you and I do this. If they never get hit, they don't have to defend. They don't have to defend. I hit people in the face. You don't like your face, do you? Then they learn to protect the face, But it's the same thing with medicine. I say, sometimes I recommend some medicine. Medicine doesn't taste good, but it's good for you. So get another consciousness beyond this. As I said, when you wake up in the morning with a breath, that's a consciousness to look at that something for you to make a decision which one you're going to motivate, what you're going to invest in. You decide. What is that energy? What is that consciousness beyond that? So I desire for people to wake up to there's a consciousness outside of that to do that causes that pain. What is that? And that's what I'm talking about. That identify with that. And Buddhists will talk about if you don't identify with that, you're gonna always be in suffering. No, there's no conflict. It's declarification. Mm-hmm. Subconscious clarification, then you see the difference. They all relates. No, it's just different steps into it. And I'm not saying run from the body. I'm saying look at it, see what its function is. It has something to do with its physical productivity on the third plane. It has something to do with your lesson for you to learn to become more of your own divine self. No, I'm saying be in it. Then you won't be off it. Then you can detach from it. When you're doing with AA, some people, alcoholic or with NA, whatever, you have to hit bottom. He said, no, enough is enough to go up. You got to go all the way down to go up. You got to truly be down. Otherwise, people are very manipulative. It can pull you into it. That's why you got to be clean, clear, have clear consciousness so you can be an assistant to people for their own, should I say, stabilization. If you don't have it, you're just being seduced into it. Some sob stories. They got stories, man. You got to go beyond the sympathy to in the empathy and have the courage to speak your truth in the heart when someone say they're in pain. Being nice to BS to people is not helping them. You have to be compassionate, be real with yourself, to be able to connect with their aligning principle for they can align themselves. So what you're saying with the Buddha, realize there's another entity. It still gonna make you look at which one you're attached to. It doesn't go around my premise. That doesn't go around that. You got to make a decision. Do that help you any minutes?
Yeah, I mean, some of what I heard is that the body is actually very beautiful. It's just you want to be conscious of how you're relating to it.
I am that. I did say that.
Yeah. And also that desire is a powerful tool.
It is.
It can be.
When you constantly directing it. See, when you have a truly burning desire, you won't let you sleep. You know, I wanted to like, no one in my family said they want to be a doctor. I'm on the west side of Chicago. I woke up, I want to be a doctor. They laugh at me. You want to be a doctor, man? I said, yeah, I want to be a doctor, man. So when your desire is that strong, you have that connection with your inner source, no one stops you. That desire got to be that boy. You got to be able to go beyond your friends on the street having fun. You got to go beyond all of that, your food, your girlfriend, anything. You got to transcend that. You got to detach from that. Your difference don't make you better. It's just different. You're on your track, what you want to develop. You're just different. Even though your associated friend may perceive you as that. That's perceptive delusion, but you have to get clarification. Your desire is that burden. You know, you say you want to learn a language. What language? Whatever you decide, doesn't matter. That desire has to be very strong. You can't sleep. You got to do this, you know? Because the people that listen, they are special people. Very powerful. Some people don't know that. They don't know they have their own thumbprint, and no one can do what they do. And I asked him, that is correct. Are you going to do it just for yourself itself, but for the collective? I'm here to bring collectivity with your own uniqueness to the universal oneness. I'm about that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's speak a little bit more to the thumbprint, if we may. You're talking about the collective and then also your uniqueness. And you mentioned thumbprint. Can you speak to that further?
Well, a specific way, but the thumbprint is we was born with our own uniqueness. That's why people, you know, they want to take your thumb, they want to take your fingerprint. Why is that? Because it's for sense for identification. My point on that is, have you identified who you are, your unique, especially based on from the divine source? Some of us get caught into a groove or something. Now it's important to be like this because the collective, everybody's doing it. But does that really match you? Is that you? You may have deflection to board, but does it really cause you joy? Does it enhance with you? The more joy you have, the more healthy you are, you know? Because you're release all the stress. I'm just saying, just at one point. It's curious that all the 8 billion people, no one had the same thumbprint. I said, wow. So then you have a unique gift, man. Whoever you are, have you thought about that? If so, do you have the desire to find that out? What is it? No, we have, you know, I like all types of music, you know, like these brothers, you know, with the blues. They work, I like to do it, they like to do it. They start playing from the field, the cotton field. They create these things. They just felt they could do it. I used it for B.B. King, not just him. But he and Lucille playing for kings and queen of the world. Bob Marley. I'm not going to swoop. I'm going to do this. Got to give. We all have them. We just idolize these people. But did you have one? It's the same way. We have our own thing. Be you. Be you. Endeavors to be you. That's all I'm saying. The thumbprint that be you, be you, be you. But sometimes We get so attached to the detached to the ego body. Everybody's doing it. We see a monkey do, but is that you? That's the question. Okay. That's the big thing I want to say about the thumbprint.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
For people listening that are resonating with their thumbprint and their own uniqueness, what are some suggestions you might give them to realize that further?
I would suggest you just get relaxed. What do you enjoy doing? What makes you feel so relaxed and joyful? Just do it. And do you feel you could make it in this material world? In this, you got a cloud of belief? I can't make one. No one interested. No, is your desire big enough? If somebody are interested, you have to have that strong desire for the yes. Because everyone who followed their gift, it took a while for some people, but they went on forward. They were successful. Look at it. And how you measure success is different, but they feel happy and joyful. And that frequency of having joy that goes out to the universe. Have the patience, sit down, see what you do that. Then have the confidence. Whatever you have like that, there's a reason why you have that thumbprint. You know what I mean? You have to do it, but you're happy doing it.
Mm.
You know, this difference between a talent and a gift. What can you do without going to some formal education? What can you do that's so, it's like, I don't have to go to school for that. I don't have to go, I could already do it. And I could it's beyond the PhD level. I don't know how to do it. I just know how to do that. And when you can do that, Maya Angelou talked about that. When you do things so well, really that well, people who can keep their eyes on it, how are they doing that? And you get their attention. What Dr. King said, well, you really good? If you're up in the mountains, people find their way there. You're just that good. Mm-hmm. You got to go beyond the 4 barrels of education. I know the education is very important, but the most important is to know who you are and what you are. Because if you don't want to follow your thumbprint, that's the educational track. Or you might include both doing them. I'm not excluding anything. I'm intent for you, know who you are, be you. When I come to see a student come to see me, they want to learn the arts, be it Bagua, Tai Chi, Qigong. But I'm a spiritual fighter. I teach all about arts from that. I look at them and say, well, this system, you want this system. Based on I see your energy, your configuration, your mindset, start with this one first. That's my read. That's one of my gifts. It's not in school, not in the books. I've been all over the world they don't have that. They talk about a fixed structure. I don't believe there's a fixed structure in teaching that. No. It's formulas, but unique to that person because that's their thumbprint. They can just do it naturally. So whatever you can do naturally, you feel joyfully, I say, have the courage to follow that. It's always good to get a formalized education. Some people find out I don't want to do this. I do it. They don't got an education. I don't want that. I'm gonna do what I feel like doing. So, in answer to your question, I'm saying realize you're unique from your thumbprint. Realize that's something you can just do naturally. Realize what that is, and have the courage, the confidence, creativity to go beyond what people might be saying to you. You just be you with confidence, and be willing for the long haul or short haul. That's coming from the divine side. That's using the tenacity of determination to tap and discipline to keep moving forward. It's the D's again. But also put some C's in there just now, You got to have the confidence. You got to have the career. You got to be creative with yours. You got to be consistent with your own compassion. That's what I'm saying to you.
I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. How does that relate to some people talk about purpose?
It is really back to that. You got to figure out something. What's your purpose here? Your purpose. My way of looking at that, we all have a purpose of being. A matter of fact, start with your family. We all came in a family. What's my purpose of being in this family? What am I supposed to teach them? What are they supposed to teach me? And how to relate it back to the universal oneness. We in this earth is a schoolroom for everybody. And each family got something. And, sometimes you find out your family Your biological, your blood family is not your family, they're your relatives. There's a big difference. You got sometimes you got to learn the difference in this reincarnation. What's the difference between a relative and a family? Because family don't not have to be blood, but relatives have to be blood. Some people merge it too. But from an energetic point of view, from an investment point of view, from an acceptance point of view, there's a difference. So have the courage to be your thumbprint with love, with determination, confidence. You know, I'm one. I am that, and the God source, and it is inside of all of us. Bring it out. Yeah.
That reminds me of a conversation I had with you about the earth being a classroom, and
Yes.
sometimes you have to pay tuition.
Yes. Your tuition is your ignorance and your attachments. Once you graduate from, let's say everybody listen to me, no, is you listen to me. Doesn't matter how, let's say we all start from kindergarten. You graduate from kindergarten. And you now you got a PhD or all kind of degree, all the alphabets out of your name. I ask you to go back to your kindergarten. You say, wait, man, you crazy. I don't graduate from that. So when you graduate from something, there is an emotional detachment. You don't transcend that. You have appreciation. I'm going beyond that. Mm-hmm. In relationships, sometimes when you graduate from a relationship, you know you have graduated. You try to go back into the relationship, it'll be more chaos. You're attached, you're hoping to wish it, but your mind told you, I have graduated from this. How you know you can be around this situation, you don't react, you know, hoping and wish, it just graduated. And when you refuse that graduation, you kind of stagnate, more problem. Ignorance, we had to go through some pain, someone to remember this isn't that good for me. Why am I so in pain? You're in pain because you want to control something. You want to control somebody. You expect they should do what you want them to do. What are you doing? Where are your pain coming from? Mm-hmm. Or someone call you out and you don't want to be called out by that particular person. It's all ego issues, you know. And when you step back from that and you become a warrior, to me, like a real warrior, there's no blame, man. No blame. Everything is a stimulus for more purification, amplification, and amplification and unification over. That's it. Mm-hmm. No blame. And so the pain, for me, is a spark to look at me. Why are you in pain? What happened? Where does it come from? Do you have the need to be right? You can't accept when you're wrong. Someone that you by the judge call you out. Who are they to call me out? Ego issues, man. Ego issues, man. Everybody on this planet is my teacher. Everybody. To be a teacher, a math teacher, I realize in and everybody on this planet you see are your teachers. From the so-called lowest people to whatever it is, they are your teachers all the day, all the time. Otherwise, the universe does not give you the capacity to connect, read, and read, to be assistance to people. Because you took by uppity, you judge it, you think you're right. Who are they to say the thing to me? You're not in my educational, financial class. BS, you know. Everybody's your teacher. And you can teach people who are receptive and enough to move beyond receptivity. And to be at this planet right now, we are the result of our parents having sex. You want to there's a receptivity there. You want to plant a garden, you got to make the ground fertile to receive the seed. So receptivity for knowledge, for growth, you need receptivity. So be receptive to your own self when someone calls you out. Say, why am I getting upset? You don't judge that person. Or someone saw something you didn't want nobody else to see. I call them, you know what they are, you know. Mm-hmm. So if you react to anything external to you, ask yourself, what is the purpose behind all of that? Mm-hmm. You don't judge, your judgment is sometimes very, 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 very intense of yourself and other people. The more judgment you are, the more pain you have. The more self-righteous you are. Your religion is better, that is totally better. This is better, it's different. And you don't understand the difference to the depth of it, so therefore you think yours is better. No, we are source. We all got a thumbprint. The question is how many people can you help without judgment? How many? But they go inside first. Inside. Inside. You must go inside.
Mm.
You must have that ability to be your own looker. You wake your breath up in the morning, you know, you got a breath. Who are you looking at? Yourself. Which one you can cultivate today? Your choice. Your choice. We all we have a choice. We have free will. It's up to you. And that's the end. They can intensify your lessons. And once you really like, love, and appreciate yourself, and know the law of energy, whatever you do to you. If a smart person would be doing some real thing, a dumb person can do something. They thought they get away with it. You can never get away with it. You can't get away from that law, you know. The law is isness, not ifness. You will pay the result. Some people doing weird stuff. They stealing, they killing, doing stuff. Maybe the camera didn't catch them. Maybe that. And they feel they ain't got away. No. The law always catch you. Human law doesn't. The divine law does. So that's where you like, love, and appreciate yourself and understand the law of energy. That's a whole different conversation for a long time, you know, the law of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And one who learned to appreciate themselves just a little bit, understand the law of energy. If people are leaders here, you know, that's to just understand that. And was that clear for you?
Yes, very clear. Okay. Can you clarify a bit of what's the difference between liking and loving oneself?
I think it's total accepting, like it to what degree do you like? You like what you do, one aspect of you, you like all of you. So there's aspect that we like, but love is you got to, I unconditionally accept myself. You know, one thing I'm reading deeper more about what Jesus was talking about, one is I think talked to maybe Timothy. He said, if you really want to be, it's kind of funny, you know, I like it. If you really want to elevate yourself beyond this physical form, he said, go out and take your clothes off like a little kid and sit down and just be, because it makes you, it forces you to accept all of yourself, accept you totally. He said, do you have the ability to be like a little kid, man? Can you do that and be totally okay with it? And, you know, and then I was learning from my metaphysical teacher a long time ago, Dr. Berry. He said, say, listen, son, you know, this is to show you how you accept beyond the people's opinion. Okay, your woman walking down the street, and you talk to all your buddies, right? You look out, but she's buck neck. You say, man, Hannah, that's your lady? I look, oh, yeah, man, I may go put a coat on her. Relative said, no, I don't know who she is. No. You say, yeah, that is her, man. I ain't gonna put my coat on her. She don't left her coat at home. You understand that? The question is your acceptance beyond the popular belief, what people might say about you. It really to graduate from judgment. We so control about judgment. This is the wrong style, this, that, but it's style right now, this, that, everything back on comparison to judgment, you know. Be a warrior to me, you go beyond all of that BS. It's funny, but real.
Very real.
So I'm about real. Listen to me, you know, cause remember this. This is one of my t-shirts anyway. When you're real, you can deal. Otherwise, chill. So you ain't doing that. You're not talking about nothing to me. Are you real? So hey, I'm having things made on that one. So that's kind of moving forward to realness. Detachment from your judgment. You got it?
I do. I'm going to ask you a follow-up if I may.
Okay.
So when you're talking about judgment, would you say like fear, embarrassment, shame, are those results of judgment? How do you see those?
It is a part of that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
People deal with a lot of embarrassment and shame as well, or trauma or fear, and some of that causes pain, or some of that they use to make choices to hide, like you said.
Yes. You know, it's being able to, some therapists, from physician, therapists, healers, I mean, sometimes they always focus just the trauma. That is part, but to continue focus on that. Some patients get stagnated, they come to see me, but they don't let me go forward. They don't let me forget that. So some form of therapy. And I just said earlier, you got to be able to know who you are, relax with love, compassion to connect with another person. You embrace the situation, you eliminate, you learn from it, and you say, look, what do you want to do? When you want to do it? How to go forward? We're going to talk about that. But I'm not going to get stuck in the trauma. Oh, that must have been bad. That must have been the. I don't put the word must. How did it affect you? When do you want to move forward? Have you considered that? And there's no rushing those steps. It's being with that person in those steps. It's the same thing. Any kind of I call it malalignment. You step in with them, so how can they help you go beyond? Have you considered this way? In the meantime, be in a position of power, of love, truth, non-judgment, total acceptance, then people connect with you from heart, they can move forward. But there's a lot of money made on just staying in the trauma. There's a lot of money being made on just, we're gonna give you some, we can help you with this disease, but how do you prevent the disease? I'm about prevention, and you don't have it. I'm about people taking control of themselves to get out of confusion. But as long as you're comparing yourself, your attachments, and that's based on what the popular fad is, and you don't have to go beyond that, you're a victim. And all victims are manipulated by the mass media because they don't know how to separate and individualize. Okay? Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can keep going, but I want to respect, you've been saying a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop right here because I got another thing. My phone's reminding me that I got another schedule. I got another thing going. So that run on the lake this morning was good to remind me you need more early fresh air, see the sunrise. It's beautiful. And yeah, so I appreciate you asking me the questions. And everybody that's listening, I hope you allowed yourself to receive what you found that was beneficial to you. I'm open to that, whatever it is. But thank you for listening. And I'd like for you to listen, to go down to your heart. Because you can listen, if you don't feel it, you're not going to do it. You have to feel it. So allow yourself to be you. And I said a lot of love out there, feeling it, protecting you, keep going, moving forward. Thank you.